Okay, hello everybody, and welcome to Infinity and Beyond. Today I'm here with the gorgeous Vicky. Hello, Vicky. How are you?
Hello, Mark. I'm really good.
Vicky is one of our practitioners here at Infinity, one of our most treasured practitioners, I have to say. So, would you like to introduce yourself and tell us a bit about what you do?
Well, I've been on a spiritual journey for quite a few years, probably all my life. If you're, when you look back and you kind of see how things have unfolded in your life. And my husband and I, we've been together for a long time, very strongly connected. And we had we had our own business, and that all came to an end with him going through burnout. So we travelled overseas in 2000 and 2001. And I think that was the beginning of our real spiritual kind of journey together, really. We came across a whole lot of teachings and things like that. And we were in a place where we were not working as we would normally do. So we had the time to spend really going into that spiritual journey. And we actually spent 3 months in Bali in 2001. And it was a very spiritual awakening time. Yoga, meditation. We were doing a book from Julia Cameron called The Artist's Way. So we were doing things like our morning pages every day. And it was just a very spiritual place to be in.
Okay, it is.
And
it's got an amazing energy, hasn't it, Bali?
Oh, it has. People there are beautiful. And so since then, really, things have unfolded a lot faster. We went to live in Whangamata at the beach when we came home. So once again, it was a beautiful energy to be in. And I found out about First Light flower essences, and I felt really strongly that I needed to do it. And at the time, it was kind of difficult for me to do it, but I did it anyway. So that was 2005.
Okay.
And did the workshops over a couple of years. You go through a progression of deep learning, uncovering trauma by doing the workshops and using the flower essences. So there was a real process of healing within myself and understanding what healing actually is about by using the flower essences.
Yeah, I think that happens to a lot of practitioners, don't they? Because obviously you've got to do the healing on yourself first, and the people around you, and your family and your partner, just to understand how it works and what it's all about. Yes. So that was quite a profound time for you, wasn't it?
It was a very profound time. So we lived in Whangamata for about 6 years, and while we were there, my parents' health declined. So we ended up, and they lived in Hawke's Bay, so we moved to Hawke's Bay so I could look after them. And because my mum had Alzheimer's, so we moved. We lived in Havelock North, which is a lovely place right near Tomato Peak, and the beautiful energy from the peak, if anybody's been to Hawke's Bay. So we went through the process of looking after them. But while I was there, I found this beautiful group of women, one of whom was a Reiki master who taught Reiki. And so I went through that process of learning Reiki, of mixing with this wonderful group of ladies. And we'd have a meditation night every Wednesday and get together with all sorts of different kinds of people, learned about EFT, learned all sorts of things during that period of time. So that was a time of huge growth too.
Wow, amazing.
And from a personal point of view as well, because both my mother and father died during that time, and a very close friend as well, all within 1 year. So there was a lot of trauma healed through that process as well. And then after that, my daughter, my son lived in Malaysia for 12 years, but my daughter, who was here, she moved to Hamilton, started a hospitality business, and then had a baby. And so the two things don't really work too well together, being a chef in a kitchen and having a newborn. So we moved here to Hamilton so I could look after grandkids.
Okay.
So that's been a lovely experience as well. And then while I was here, I found Infinity. I became part of a Reiki share group that we held here for quite a few years, which for me was really helpful with the healing process, because you were actually doing healing with a group of people. And so it kind of expanded my awareness of how the healing channeling energy moved through different people. I could see, this person did it this way and this person did it this way, and I'd been doing it that way, but was that how I was going to carry on doing it? Do you know what I mean? It was a real period of growth for me.
Everyone finds their own way, though, I find, don't I? Because our healing techniques are quite different,
yes.
I find, too.
Yes.
So it's a very individual thing, isn't it?
Yeah, and actually as part of one of that Reiki share healing things, the light language came through for me. And I was aware of what that was before that, but I'd never actually experienced it myself. And so that was transformational, took everything to a different level again. So, everything just flows. And when you look back, from here, then you flow into this, and then it goes up another level, and it's still working that way. So,
what type of things do you do now, then? You mentioned EFT and flower essences. I know that you do mostly the flower essences, but
it's a combination really of mix. I've found that I've mixed the things that I've learned over the years together. And so it's not like I go in thinking, well, I'm just going to do Reiki, or I'm just going to do flower essences, or I'm just going to do sound healing.
Okay.
I always ask for what is for the highest good for the person coming in, create sacred space, call in their spiritual team as I'm starting the healing process. And then I just open myself up to whatever is coming through. So it's just about always a mixture.
So it's different for every person.
It's different for every person.
Wow, okay.
I work a lot with the angelic kingdom, so the archangels come through. Sometimes it might be a colour that comes through, and I just feel like emerald light moving through somebody, or the light language. And I use my Tibetan bowls, and I find that working with the bowls helps to clear blockages and bring things into balance and resonance within the energy field.
Yeah. Well, obviously, we're all vibrating at different energy frequencies, aren't we? So when you're using the bowls, I know you've got quite a few different bowls.
Yes.
They're all different frequencies,
exactly.
Are they?
Yeah.
And do they resonate with the different chakras?
Yes, different chakras. But that's not always the same one for everybody. Do you know what I mean? So it's just intuitive as to what you feel somebody needs. Sometimes I strike the bowl with a gong, which has a different energy to it, to tapping it with the mallet, with the felt, and then making it sing. They all have slightly different things that go on in somebody's energy field. So it's purely what I feel needs to come through.
Yeah. Okay, that's amazing. And what sort of benefits do you find that your clients get from sessions with you?
And one thing I notice when on the table, this is with the energy healing, is that they seem to go into that real amazing, is it the delta wave? I always forget which one it is, but that beautiful, relaxed state of being. Yes. And when they're in that state, then a lot of healing can happen. So, I feel that's part of what I'm there to do, is to hold a frequency so that they can be in a place where healing happens, because I don't see myself as the healer. I'm channeling healing energy, and they are doing their own healing.
Yes, I feel the same way. It's not, I don't feel myself, I don't feel I'm doing anything.
Yeah.
I just allow it to happen through me.
Yes.
By stepping aside my ego, my ego body, and just relaxing. So it's obviously the same for you too.
Yeah.
And that's such a great feeling, though, to be able to be that guide for somebody.
It is.
That channel.
And the wonderful thing is that it's so energizing for me as well. So one of the things I learned from studying flower essences, Francella Soskiwiber, who creates the flower essences, taught us very early on in the learning stage how to not use your own energy to heal somebody, because you just burn out so fast. And it's just very draining. And so that was a huge thing about energizing yourself spiritually, protecting your energy fields, grounding your energy as part of the process of actually going through that process. So you have to do that to maintain your energy fields, so you can hold the space vibrationally for somebody so that their healing can happen.
Yeah, I know you have like rituals that you do, don't you? Like first thing in the morning when you come in.
Yes. Start first thing in the morning at home, and then extra things here at work to create sacred space in the room. Call in my team and spirit, my higher self. Do the grounding, bring in the light. I have a forgiveness prayer that I do, which I do every day. I work with the archangels, so I call a ball of archangel light around me every day. I work with Archangel Michael for protection, or the Gold Ray of Christ for protection, which is very powerful protection. I just do so many different things. It depends. I've got a whole variety of things that I can do. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Depending on where I am during the day, with all of the energy stuff that's happening, sometimes I feel like I need this, and sometimes I feel like I need that. So
yeah. But they really, really help, because, I mean, Vicky shared one of her decrees.
Yes.
It's a decree, isn't it?
It is a decree.
That you say in the morning to try and bring in all the different archangels.
Yes.
And that's really helped me. So thank you so much for that. And to clear
a lot of energy.
Really
I don't do that particular one very often, but every now and then I feel like I need it. Do you know what I mean? And so it's good to have a toolkit. I work with the Violet Flame all of the time. Saint Germain, Archangel Zachiel, are part of my team. And Saint Germain says to use it, because it is a powerful spiritual tool for releasing any negative, dense energy within our energy fields.
Yeah, I can always feel the archangels and all the spirits coming to support me. It's wonderful.
Yes. I think one of the things is really just tuning in to listening to the wisdom within you, both in your body, which tells you a lot, but also your I am presence, your higher self, to actually receive the guidance and wisdom without relying on lots of other people. Because when you're going within and you're receiving that guidance and wisdom from yourself, and it took me many years to learn to trust that. I had a lot of doubt around it when I first started, that I wasn't good enough and that I couldn't do this and I couldn't do that. And it got to the stage, with the help of the healing that I was doing on myself through flower essences and Reiki and different things, that fine just the way I am. I have my own unique gifts and abilities, just as you do and just as everybody else does. And to learn to trust what comes through when I open my mouth, whether it's song, whether it's toning, whether it's speaking a message that's coming through, all of that, just to trust it, because it's coming from that divine presence within me.
Yes, and we have that inside us all, don't we?
We do.
So
every single one of us.
We all need to learn how to trust it, don't we?
Yeah.
It's very important for the collective consciousness, I believe, at the moment.
Yeah.
So remember that, guys. Trust your instincts.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we're more than we think we are in this human body.
Definitely, I agree. So can you tell me a little bit more about the flower essences? How do they work?
Well, the flower essences are amazing, because our country, New Zealand, was isolated for millions of years. And so all of these plants grew in isolation with very little predators. And they grow in a spirit of cooperation. So they support each other. And they're very tall. You know, a lot of the trees are tall. You've got all of the ranges in the canopy in New Zealand here. Each one has its own healing vibration. And so the essence is made by combining a lot of karakia and protocol, but water, sunlight, and the cooperation of the plant to impart its healing vibration into the water with the sun. And so what happens when I intuitively choose, and there's a few hundred essences, but when I intuitively choose which one's coming through for that person, is that when you start talking about this one and this one and this one and what it's healing and what it's here for, that same spirit of cooperation comes through. So the plants support each other. There might be some of the flowers that are healing stuff in your ego. There's some ferns that are healing trauma in the aura. There's the major trees that are healing the chakras. There's other plants, seeds that are healing DNA, lineage, heritage, our family, ancestral line heritage, or our past life stuff that's come through that needs healing out of the DNA. So there's soul healing issues as well. So these plants, they all seem to just kind of come together and work together. So there might be healing around similar things, but part of it's healing your DNA, part of it's healing your chakra, part of it's healing your aura. And they all work
As you're
together.
saying that, I can see you in the garden with all your plants around you, and you're able to pick which one. So it's so nice to have that healing from Gaia, isn't it?
Oh, it's just amazing.
From the earth, because obviously the earth nurtures us in so many ways.
Yes.
So it's beautiful. Yeah.
And so the beauty of it is that people have a treatment bottle, which has these essences in the water, and they take the drops. And so a bottle will last for about a month. So all through that time, the healing vibration from those drops is creating shifts and changes in their energy fields. So it's not like kind of happening when it's done. It's a very gradual building up process of healing with the flower essences.
And that's really important for some people, isn't it?
It is.
Because, gradual processes or progress is much better, isn't it?
It is. And it works super fast with pets and really, really quickly for kids. So beneficial for them. They don't have the baggage, the blockages in the way, so it just happens so fast with them, these flower essences.
Okay. Excellent. So what's one of your favourite parts about your job then?
When I've finished, I just feel so energized and full of the healing energy that I've channeled through. I mean, the people themselves, and it's a fairly selfish thing, the people themselves go through that amazing process, but I get it as well every time I do it. And so, people say, aren't you drained? No, I'm just like...
Every time I see you, you've got a big smile on your face, just like you've got now. So that doesn't surprise me. And I feel the same. When I'm working with customers, I feel really energized by it. It's not training. Unless you allow it to be, as you said before. So you just need to make sure you've got your protections in place and you understand how the energy works. It's all good. Oh, that's great. Well, thank you so much for chatting with me today.
You're welcome.
It's been a delight. And if you've liked this video, please subscribe to the channel and have a look at the other videos as well in this playlist. We've got interviews with other practitioners from Infinity Spiritual Centre in Hamilton, New Zealand. Hope to see you again soon, and I hope we see you in store one day soon. Bye now.
Bye.